A surprising WrestleMania 38 Night 1 main event has been revealed. Plus, another Impact star departs the company, and another Raw star is set to compete on NXT tomorrow night. It's all in the wrestling news right now. WrestleMania is a week on Saturday. You said in the previous news video, the fever. You're right?
Okay. Oh, it's cursed me.
You said the fever was quite low on your
for me,
side.
But you see, this is the thing. I'm quite contradictory here in being like, I don't know if there's enough surprises. We won't find out the surprises till on the night, you daft bold
That's
bugger.
how
What you
surprises
doing?
work.
That's how they work, exactly.
Unless we ruin them.
Wow.
Gable Stevenson. So we will talk a bit about some WrestleMania stuff. See whether it lights the fire within your loins.
Tantalizing.
So this is a bit of news that comes from Reddit. Now, Reddit not normally a place that you would cite big news stories from, but one particular Reddit user by the name of Kermit125 has a bit of a track record of being on the money when it comes to some stories within the wrestling world. And Kermit put out over the weekend a post on Reddit regarding WrestleMania 38 Night 1, revealing that the show will open with Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship. Kind of had a feeling in my waters this might be where it goes.
Yeah.
But obviously this is another source saying the same thing.
Yeah, and I was thinking as well that when I heard this, I was like, ooh, especially now with Bianca Belair's injury as well. Is it going to look as though she might not turn up at WrestleMania? She does. She comes out in this first match, squashes Becky Lynch in like 30 seconds, just like SummerSlam. Kind of tie it all back round together.
Long-term storytelling.
Yeah.
I'm all right with that. You could get away with that if it's the main event, if it's the opening match of the show rather than the main event.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking too.
I had the vibe that they would open with Becky versus Bianca and they would close with Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Not apparently going to be the case, as this Reddit user is also reporting, as well as WrestleMania Night 1 opening with Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair, will close with the Kevin Owens show featuring Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Wow.
A non-wrestling main event to WrestleMania Night 1.
Which I think if it was anybody other than Stone Cold Steve Austin, obviously, Texas native, this WrestleMania obviously being in Texas as well, I think that's a good way, a feel-good way to close out Night 1, you know? Even if there might not be like a full-fledged 1-2-3 pinfall match, I think this is kind of like a good way to close out the show.
We're going to get something physical from Steve Austin on this particular night. Dave Meltzer was on Sunday night's main event. He says a mutual friend of his and Austin's recently spotted Austin at a training session and was amazed at Austin's physique, saying that Austin looks incredible. Meltzer, it's out of context. It's a weird thing for somebody to say, but Meltzer said Steve Austin will definitely get his top off at WrestleMania. And then there's going to be a fight without a doubt. Sounds like how most Sunday nights in the pub near me ends. Someone's definitely getting their top off, but there's going to be a fight. It's a weird thing to say out of context, but the point that Dave Meltzer's saying there is that Austin is in phenomenal condition.
Yeah, and there's going to be some form of physical contact between the two, you know?
He wouldn't be getting into that kind of shape if we weren't going to see something big.
I think it's obviously going to be a lot more than just a stunner, good night, see you later as well.
Yeah, I think maybe a prolonged brawl.
Yeah.
Maybe involving weapons and shenanigans and stuff like that.
I'm telling you, Tom, he's going to knock Kevin Owens out, right? Tie him up, put him on back of his quad bike. We go down to Stone Cold Steve Austin Ranch. And then the main event for WrestleMania Night 1 is a herding competition. Who can herd the most cows within a set amount of time wins all of WrestleMania forever.
A herd off,
yeah.
If I don't hear this in 9 pitches next week.
Tom, you've already got, it's unheard of that this would be the main event of WrestleMania. What? It's a stupendous 2-night event. Why not have? Oh my God. It writes itself, everybody.
I was done you. WrestleMania herding. I'm excited. That'll be a thing. I can't wait for the elongated version of that on 9 pitches next week.
Absolutely.
Let's go to Impact Wrestling. We've talked a bit about over the last couple of weeks, like Impact stars that have just gone.
Yeah.
And it seems like a bit of a recurring theme. Another one gone this week. Hernandez, reportedly done with the company, according to Fightful Select. He was written off telly earlier in the year, and it looks like he ain't coming back to telly. He's, over the last 2 decades, kind of popped in and popped out of TNA and Impact Wrestling. And I wonder, there seems to be a bit of a reshuffle.
Yeah, that's kind
Impact
of
lately.
That's what it feels like. Obviously, not kind of the I guess the prominence of it in the public eye isn't somewhat as big as, you know, when WWE ends up doing like mass releases and things like that.
Because this isn't like a mass release.
No.
This is more just wrestlers whose contracts are expiring and they're just going.
That's it. Yeah, and I mean, you know, there's obviously potential for him to go to a lot of places, but AEW, maybe we'll see LAX reform or something like that too in AEW. We've heard Chris Jericho, I think, even reference LAX recently, being like, I think I picked the wrong 2 members of LAX to be in the inner circle. Homicide and Hernandez, where you are, kind of thing. Like maybe something like that happens as well down the line. We get a nice reformation of LAX in some form. But yeah, like it's a strange one to see. I guess maybe there doesn't need to be any big pomp and circumstance around someone getting released. Maybe it literally is just contract's done. I'll see you in a bit.
After on to pastures anew.
Yeah.
Speaking of Impact, they have their tapings this weekend at the 2300 Arena, the former ECW arena, and we had an ECW legend rock up to fight Matt Cardona.
Oh my goodness, little Guido, little boy that could. He was there. Yeah, he challenged Matt Cardona for the Impact Digital Media title, which is
you said it wrong.
Did I? Sorry.
Digital Media.
Oh, is that how you say it?
Digital Media. Digital Media. It's a weird name for a belt. I love your Impact, but come on. Digital Media. Yes, he did challenge him. Did he? Was he successful? Well, we won't spoil it on this occasion. But do check that out. I like Guido Maritato, full-blooded Italians.
Yeah.
Nunzio in WWE.
I like that Matt Cardona, I've said this multiple times as well, he's just having the run of his career. He's just having an extremely fun time with stuff, isn't he? You know?
Yeah.
And he's been doing all this stuff. We saw him have a brief moment with X-Pac and stuff as well. Is he just going across like legends and just destroying them and stuff too? I don't know what's going on.
We did a nice video about the career renaissance of Matt Cardona, formerly Zack Ryder. You can watch that on the YouTube channel right now. I think he's just marching to the beat of his own drum.
Absolutely.
Making the kind of wrestling stuff that he's always wanted to do, and you love to see it. We'll end on a bit for NXT tomorrow night. We mentioned last week, Sam and I, that there is a push from WWE to have more Raw stars appearing, little cameo appearances on NXT, you know, a bit like when Sam Malone turned up in Frasier that time. But we're having another one tomorrow night.
We are, yeah. Robert Roode, he's going to face Bron Breakker tomorrow on NXT, which is going to be, you know, quite exciting to see. Obviously, Dolph Ziggler, Bron Breakker, and Robert Roode been in this thing, and yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. Do you know what? I'm actually enjoying this, which I might not have said a few months ago.
You seem surprised to say
kind
that.
of, yeah, and I guess I shouldn't be, because all 3 of them are really good workers, and they've done some really exciting stuff recently to kind of shake up things, because, you know, obviously big change up to NXT and whatnot, and for some people it's for them, for other people it's not, you know. It's not necessarily bad at all, but I think this storyline is definitely keeping me sort of involved in NXT a little bit, you know. And I like where it's going.
We'll see Robert Roode in action tonight from the Raw brand against Bron Breakker on NXT tomorrow night, ahead of Breakker versus Ziggler, as you say.
Yeah.
For Stand and Deliver a week on Saturday. It's the NXT Saturday Matinee that we're building up to. If you want to see how NXT UK is booked proper, I say booked proper, WWE 2K22 My GM mode with me.
With you.
On Twitch, I believe right now as this video is going out. We're on from 1 p.m. till 3 p.m. GMT. Join me on Twitch. We're playing My GM mode. We've been playing it all last week. We'll pick it up again today. It's good fun.
Who's currently... Have you got like a NXT UK champion at the moment?
Oh. Do we have an NXT UK champion right now? Can I introduce you, please, to Jive Owens? There's the boy,
Jive Owens. What?
Who's Jive Owens, I hear you ask?
Not a clue.
Stop it.
I mean, yeah,
How dare
he's
you
the best.
disrespect Jive Owens? Find out who Jive Owens is at twitch.tv/Cultaholic between 1 and 3 p.m. GMT. Probably just as you're watching this video, it's on now, baby, or just watch the replay on Twitch. That's fine as well. More news throughout the day as well at cultaholic.com. Keys.
Love you, bye.